Hello, welcome to the SimCyberWorld Racing Series, Axalta Stock Car Series division. This video is a overview of all of the paint schemes for Season 4 so far. Starting off with number 2 of Mr. Psycho on a 2013 Dodge Charger. Now, I ended up making two versions of this template because this version, the best version, I accidentally copied over. But anyways, a new look for 2014 for Mr. Psycho. Here's the number 3 of George Mihai. It's a new model for 2014. It is the 2015 BMW M3. And pretty exceptional paint scheme, I would say. Here's the number 5 of Chad Wright. This is a recycled base. It was the number 12 Hot Wheels in 2011, 12, I don't know. Here's the number 6 of Sean English. It's another recycled base. This base is from the 2013 throwback car set that I did on a 2013 Shelby Boss Tang. Here's the 8 of Derek Kessler on a Pontiac Trans Am. Mellow yellow paint scheme. I was pretty happy with the outcome of it. Here's the number 12 of Stuart Miyake. Pretty easy scheme because it was based off of Sam Horace Jr.'s Cup scheme. Here's the number 16 of Patricio Esteban, which all you guys know him better as Daco. This is on a 2013 Chevy Camaro Z28, and this is also a recycled base from the throwback car set. Here's the number 18 of Pete Aaron on another new model for 2014. This is a 2013 Dodge Dart, and this base was recycled from the Gamco series. This is the Lucas Oil base. Here's Moff and his Huber Chevrolet. Just a pretty solid overall scheme. I like the white and orange combo here. Here's a 22 Ford EcoBoost Fusion of Heb Green. This is a recycled base. Used in Nationwide and Cup last year. Here's a 23 of CMP17 on a Camaro Z28, and I went with a retro style design, and I think it looks pretty good on this Camaro. Here's a number 29 of Julian Aubert, Ford Mustang Golf Machine. Tried to be unique with the paint, but just looks like the rest, but it still looks good. Here's a number 34 of Shep 34, Glenn Shepard. I didn't really know what to do with his scheme when I was painting it, so I just went off of his old base and added to it a little bit. Here's the 35 of Porsche Raoul, which this was a recycled base from the Gamco set. Dave Raoul had painted such a good car for this last season, and I just couldn't replicate the base. Here's a 39 of Everston Nyanumba. I think I did an okay job on this base. Main issue was lining up on the front just a little. I got it off there because it was in a weird placement area. Here's the 46 of Jerry Henders. I really like what he did with this. Made the template and all himself. It's a Pontiac G8, I believe. It looks awesome. And here's the 53 that I painted up for Dave Raoul. Again, I couldn't really match his scheme from last year, so I just painted up a retro one, and it works pretty well. Here's the number 54 of Spaghetti, and again, couldn't match his scheme from last year, so I recycled a base from the throwback set. This is the Fastenal base. The colors went well with the sponsor, so I was sold. Here's the 64 Juice car of Daniel Trellin. Painted this as a request a while back, and I actually made the side design entirely off of the outline around the logo. Here's the number 69 of Archie Goggins. I mentioned earlier about there being 2 Dodge Charger templates. Well, this is version 2. You may not be able to notice, but it's not as prominent with the detail. Here is Aaron Dolfina's number 72. Just a bit of an update from last season. I didn't know what to do with it, so I just used the SeaWorld logo as the base. Here's Jason Ross's JRO 248's number 75 Walmart Ford Fusion. This is a nationwide base from last season. Here's a number 81 of MacMurk 88, sponsored by Ace Energy. This was a recycle of his HP base request from earlier this year. Here's the number 82 of Robert Ponko, better known to everyone as Little E Fan. He was the Season 1 champion. This was a recycled base of the Zaxby's base from last season. All I did was change the red to blue. This is a request from earlier. Kent Childers, Miller High Life Ford Fusion. Really like the way these colors turned out. I didn't think N3 would let me do it, but it did. Here's a 92 of Jack Daniels. This is a recycled base. It was a discount tire base last season, and every season before that, pretty much. A little bit different. Works well. This is the 94 of Will May, and this again is a recycled base from the first throwback set that I attempted doing. 2011 maybe. Here's the 96 Sundrop Fusion of Nathan Childers. The yellow wheels were actually an accident. I had imported them on a different PCX, and that particular PCX had yellow wheels, and it just fit with the scheme. There's the 99 of Joe Smith, and this was a request that I didn't think would actually turn out as well as it did, because I wasn't sure that the colors would go with the sponsor, but that orange makes it really stand out. I like it. Here's the 0 of Rex Baker, and this is it's a recycling of a nationwide base from last season, the 74 of Mike Harmon, but I finally gave him a scheme that was more than just a line. Here's the 03 of James Moore, and this is a recycle of his circle bar request from last year, and all I did was took the diamond plate and did a negative image of it to get that dark color. And here's the 09 of Big 8 Rack, which this was a reincarnation of his scheme from last season. And believe it or not, this entire scheme is made from that hood logo right there. Copied, pasted, mirrored, put back to back, and it came up with a crazy looking scheme. And now to the special schemes. Here's Mr. Psycho's number 2 Mike's Hard Limeade car. This is on the first version of the Dodge template. As you can see, the door trim has a lot more detail on it. The hood is more detailed. Here's a number 3 Samsung BMW for George Mihai. This is one of his alternate schemes for the season. Another very solid scheme. And up next is his number 3 Ice Watch paint scheme, which was pretty fun to paint. Definitely had a blast with all the different rainbow colors going across it. Shouldn't be hard to miss on the track. Here's the Exide Batteries alternate car for Chad Wright. This is a reusing of the 99 Exide Batteries base from the first throwback set. Here's the number 6 Eagle One Ford Mustang of Sean English. This is a reusing of the base, the Olympic Paints base from Sam Hornish Jr. All I did was turn black to red and added a fade on the front. and it's sold. Here's an old Jeff Burton base that I recycled for a Winn-Dixie scheme. It's been CMP 17 schemes for last season. Decided to switch it up. Here's another version of Moff's Chevy Camaro. I did a couple different versions of a couple different color combos. Here's blue and white. Pretty nice combo with the sponsors. Here's the black and red version, which black kind of takes away a lot of the Camaro detail. And here is the Bumblebee version. And if you look close enough, you may have to go back and pause it, but on the hood I have the Chevy Impala detail on the outside, then I have the nationwide Camaro detail on the inside, and then in between all that is a 2013 detail section for the Camaro. It's a grill inlet. Here's the invert scheme for Daniel Trellin. Instead of white, this inverted to this frost gray, which is pretty sweet. Here's the 94 Skittles, reuse of a base from the Gamco series. This will be Will May's other car for the season. And then we have the 03 Full Throttle Camry for James Moore, which is just a reusing of the base that he requested earlier, well, last year. It was last year. And that's all the schemes that I have so far for this season. There's just a couple teams, which most of you have probably seen on the board already, but we look forward to a great season with you. Thanks for joining.